Let us now invite Chris Catto-Smith, CEO, Freshport Asia Limited from Thailand. Chris Catto-Smith is the Managing Director of Freshport Asia. He has secured master's degree in both systems engineering and logistic management with post-graduation in business and aviation management. He has 30 years of experience in supply chain development, retail logistics and systems, pharma, cold chain, and international perishable air cargo. He is currently contracted to the Asia Development Bank to support supply chain and agro-logistics in Southeast Asia and Nepal. Krish has hardly spent 18 years in the Australian Air Force as a logistics officer, involved in a wide range of logistics and transport, aviation, and humanitarian aid roles. He has extensive experience in logistics development programs in various countries like China, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, and Brazil. GenuineIN welcomes you and happy to hear from you. Welcome, Mr. Krish.
Thank you.
The board is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm just going to do a sound check. You can hear me okay?
Yes, okay, all clear.
Okay. Now we've got our technology right. It's a great pleasure to be invited to join this online ecosystem of organized through the ICoTE. Thank you very much for the hosts, and I've enjoyed the previous sessions. Thank you very much. Very enlightening. For my presentation, I'm going to talk briefly about my experiences in hiring integrated education students in their final years of a degree program into quite a small, fast-moving business that I have been operating. Can I share my screen? I think you can still see my face, but I'm just going to run you through a visual and spare you looking at my face, which is a little bit out of focus with the camera. Anyway, I'm just going to share and make a full screen here. Is that quite visible, people? Okay.
Please, yes.
Okay, thank you. I've got 15, just under 15, 20 minutes. I'm going to try and give you a visual, a fairly impromptu overview of my experience working with the King Mongat Institute of Technology in Thailand. But before that, I'm going to just introduce briefly what my company is. As we heard my introduction, yes, I've been fortunate to have a very great experience in many things in Australia, and but predominantly in the last 25 years living in Asia, in Southeast Asia, predominantly Thailand, but I've been doing project work in Mongolia, China, Philippines, Indonesia, throughout Nepal. I've just done a project for Asia Development Bank, and most predominantly the last 10 years I've been doing fresh logistics and retail implementations in Vietnam. And I would say probably my greatest experiences of fast, rapid implementation, and my first experience working with cooperative education students was in Vietnam. And now coming back into Thailand after an extended period of Vietnam caught there with COVID, I've now taken on 3 students in their final year, and I'm going to share the experience of that. As you can see, my business is quite small, but I'm quite diverse. I do program management and supply chain consulting, international end-to-end logistics solutioning, but I also do rapid, small-scale, fast implementation in developing countries. I predominantly just going to talk about my experiences in the air cargo and port logistics operations. And I've been an advocate of knowledge sharing and thought leadership. You can look my name up. I've pushed a lot of information and learning materials and bodies of knowledge in the public domain, as well as I've been quite an exhaustive speaker, pushing the concept of perishable logistics and its importance particularly in developing countries to reduce food loss and sustainable food chains. Hence my extensive experience in Vietnam. I reached a nexus where, despite the constraints of the COVID on the international supply chains, I suddenly found myself extraordinarily busy, predominantly because I have a pharmaceutical and cold chain background. It doesn't take long before you get contracted to be doing supply chain strengthening across developing countries. And I've just completed 4 assignments with Indonesia, Philippines, Cambodia, and I'm right now doing supply chain strengthening for COVID vaccine distribution in Laos. And if ever anyone thinks supply chain management is straightforward, try Laos and delivering vaccines in that area. However, I still operate my airport business, and I found that stretch, and my existing management team has taken such a long time to train up. I found that my scalability was constrained. I couldn't meet the expanding requirements of my business. And I then turned to the King Mongat Institute of Technology, and they have an aviation academy, an international academy of aviation, and they do a logistic management program with majors in air cargo. And if ever there is an obscure skill set, it's air cargo, cold chain, pharmaceutical, and aircraft loading. And right on my doorstep, literally at the end of Suvarnabhumi Airport, is the KMITL campus, and I met with the professor of the program, and very quickly I took on 3 students. And the reason is it takes so long to train up a new person in my business at a management level, and they have a degree program over 4 years, and the 4th year is the cooperative education. So I can accelerate the induction of new talent into my business dramatically by having all of this background in air cargo, logistics, right available, and all I have to do is localize that knowledge. So it didn't take me long to look at this marvelous, and literally I've been in Bangkok for 20 years, and I didn't know of the existence of this marvelous institute. And very rapidly, they operate an aeronautical engineering program, a commercial pilot program, and a Bachelor of Science in Logistics and Management. And this is my sweet spot here. And I visited the campus, and the engineering students have a lot of wonderful equipment. The pilots have simulators, but the poor old logistic students needed to have a proper facility to get experience in, and I could provide that. My three students were taken on and integrated into my team at Bangkok Airport. We had them put through quite rigorous security access controls, and before long they have airside access, and they are part of my team. Normally it takes a degree qualified trainee manager at least 18 months to 2 years to become effective. And I'm going to tell you the story that these students here were effective literally in a month and a half. And that's quite remarkable. And it's a significant benefit to me as a small constrained business manager to have people I don't have to spend time holding hands and explaining everything. We ran them through the operations. Everything we said they understood. We only had to show them things once, and they took a proactive approach, and very gradually we were introducing them to loading cargo for aircraft, and before long you can see that they're now doing process mapping. They're going out onto the floor. They're stepping out processes which up until now I didn't have documented, and with whiteboards and a big smile, and they operate very, very effectively and quickly. I've now got the basis of process mapping, which is required for quality management systems. I did not have to explain very much. The language was there, and one of the best things for me is the ability to write up and follow through and produce quality deliverable. I have managers in my business that have been there 2 years, cannot do this. The next activity, I'm now getting flowchart schematics that have not been done before. Mapping processes through an air cargo terminal, which is quite complex, and simplifying them. You can see almost with minimal knowledge, the students know how to research, they know how to put together professional documentation, they're good on communication, and they just slip straight in to quite a high volume, high velocity air cargo environment. Right now, this young lady identified an opportunity for us 4 weeks ago. She said, "Why aren't you doing load control for freighters?" And we'd not been doing that before. And we met up with the freighter company, the air freight company. And this young lady had done, in a previous intern role, load planning for Korean Airlines. And she had the vocabulary. And next thing you know, we'd organized a meeting with CMA CGA Airlines, and they said, "Of course we want some help." And literally in 2 to 3 weeks, with the process mapping and the documentation done, SOPs done, we were under trial to load these freighters. And there's the managing director of Siva Logistics, who have just suddenly said, this team is good. And not only that, the team updated our reporting templates. They bought them out of old style templates. They developed checklists, all proactively, with a minimal of guidance. And I've got myself a workforce multiplier, and I sincerely hope Hello? I will also share my previous experience that I had in Vietnam, where I hired 3 interns, and additionally through KPMG, KPMG also had given me some of their junior consultants to train under my guidance, and I had them on secondment for 6 months under a quasi-intern agreement, and they helped me develop this particular project, which is an export fruit export opportunity in Hougang province that was rapidly developed with processes, SOPs, formation of a Vietnamese farming cooperative with a minimal intervention management model, and where farmers are shareholders in in a cooperative export industry. 12 months ago, this opportunity did not exist. And with the help of the interns and the extension officers in the province of Hougang, the support of the People's Committee, we just won a global award for logistic innovation with the Cool Logistics Organization, which is the largest fresh produce conference in the world. That's undertaken in conjunction with the Fruit Logistica in Berlin. And already this profit share business, we've shared $2.5 million worth of fruit exports on a profit share basis with over 250 farmers in Hougang province. I'm going to do a little bit of this is a bit of clip art. I have to excuse me, I was only decided to put it up literally as we were in the waiting room. And that summarizes the benefits for a student, enhancing skills. Coming into a company like mine, this is the benefit for the students, that I think it gives them a real reach and range and invaluable experience. And someone, a bit old and cranky like me, I've got someone to teach, and that gives me something that gives me great pleasure. And on the employer side, it opens up talent opportunities. Try before you buy. I want them all, but I'm not sure if they want me. They've certainly injected fresh ideas into my business and actually created a business opportunity that I've been sitting on for nearly 12 years and I didn't see it. And they are an advocate for some of our team members that have been there a long time. And just in summary of my little snapshot, the cooperative and work integrated education program, particularly for a small business like mine, is great. Gives the interns a fresh perspective. My social strategy, I feel good. I feel good that I'm providing these young ones the opportunities. That is very, very difficult to get this type of role. Certainly, I've got myself 3 great entry-level hires. They're extra set of hands. They go straight on shift. They're on a split shift, night shift, day shift. And right now they've been assigned, my three interns have been assigned projects which are going to deliver, even at their level of experience, foundations of a quality management system. That's one of them. The next one's going, see that freighter behind you is going to put in SOPs that are going to go in a scope of work for a contract, which will give us a significant amount of financial stability. And a third one is doing an IoT, which is the track and trace technology implementation framework. I just can't ask for a better value out of this investment in my time. And that really, I would encourage all of you to really consider the use of interns in your workspace. Share your knowledge. They're the leaders of the future. They're our future leaders, and they're very much worth investing in. So thank you for that. I'm going to let you see my face again. And happy to ask a question. And there is Dr. Jetsidar, is my my wonderful colleague who has given me this talent. So Dr. Jet, you might be able to
thank you so much.
Make a comment on my presentation, or
thank you, Krish. Thank you very much. I have a question for you. As we all know, AI is emerging strongly in all the fields. How your logistic industry is prepared to face this challenge in the workspace?
Could you repeat the question, the first part of your question?
Yes, sure. I will repeat. See, as we all know, AI is increasingly emerging in all the workplaces. how the logistics industry is prepared to face this challenge?
Well, again, I didn't hear the first part of your question, but I'll answer what I think your question was.
Artificial intelligence.
Oh, sorry, that's the word I couldn't hear.
With the advent of artificial intelligence into the logistic industry.
Okay, sorry, perfect, thank you. Artificial intelligence, I go back one. Artificial intelligence to me needs to be much more basic, and it's to document and structure the intelligence that we have already, and make sure that the challenge, the constraint of talent and the cross-pollination of our knowledge and our experience is probably the first step before artificial intelligence. I see artificial intelligence every single day when I'm writing emails, and that's where a spell checker is actually correcting my English and spelling. I'd call that AI, and that's part of that. That's thinking ahead for us. As far as AI is concerned in logistics, it's predictive. It's predictive management of future events and being able to help us simplify our decision-making process. That's embedded. A lot of AI is embedded in logistics, advanced logistic tools now. But I've been presented with several AI options already, but one of the constraints is actually good data and clean data. Documented SOPs, and they're a long way to go before we can put AI over the top of processes which are not yet at full maturity. AI can be used in high-speed manufacturing, for example, where you've got visual inspection, and you can use AI for segregation of high-speed sortation systems, AI in fruit systems. A lot of fruit and color sortation is now being done by AI, but that's embedded in the machinery that is purchased, that performs part of supply chain activities. Again, in Southeast Asia, I don't see the emergence of AI. I won't see it as much unless it's in embedded machinery or tools, until the processes, the data, the skill level of the various flows of product and people and equipment and information is developed. So that's my answer. Any other questions?
No, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Okay.
Thank you, Krish. We got more information about the aviation and logistics industry. Sure, our participant will also be benefited from this.